Hello, everyone. We'll be getting started shortly.
Welcome. Hello, I'm Minerva Delgado. Welcome to the Hunger Free Communities Summit. And I'd like to invite Eric Mitchell, our Executive Director at the Alliance to End Hunger, to join us.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Eric Mitchell. I'm the Executive Director for the Alliance to End Hunger, and I want to welcome you to the 2021 Hunger Free Communities Virtual Summit. I am thrilled for what we have in store for you over the next 2 days. We will be bringing together our extensive Alliance to End Hunger membership network, our Hunger Free Communities Network, and the broader anti-hunger community in the U.S. to talk about some very key and important issues. Nothing is a better example of how powerful and impactful this group has been than what we've been able to accomplish over the last 18 months. Collectively, the Hunger Free Community Network has created new programs, developed innovative partnerships, and advocated for a strong government response to the hunger crisis created by the pandemic.
Thank you, Eric. If you're not already familiar with the Alliance, please visit our sponsor booth. During our time together, we will explore what works to end hunger over these 2 days. We want to welcome our very diverse audience of government representatives, nonprofits, faith organizations, corporations, foundations, universities, farmers and food system stakeholders, students, and community residents. You are all welcome. We are hosting over 20 sessions in these 2 days, and there will also be opportunities to network with each other as well as hear some wonderful poetry. If you can't attend the session live, don't worry, it will be recorded and available after the event. We'd like to thank our sponsors, our presenting sponsor, General Mills, as well as Share Our Strength, Feeding America, Bread for the World, Islamic Relief USA, Poetry X Hunger, and Congressional Hunger Center. And now we'd like to share with you a short video from Share Our Strength, one of our sponsors, featuring Monica Gonzalez. And Monica is a really wonderful asset to us here at the Alliance to End Hunger. She's the co-chair of our Domestic Advocacy Committee and has been providing so much leadership in the fight to end hunger. Here's the video.
Welcome to the 2021 Hunger Free Communities Virtual Summit. I'm Monica Gonzalez with Share Our Strength, and we're proud to be a sponsor of this year's summit. At Share Our Strength, we believe that no kid should go hungry in America. But in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, we saw the hardship and the suffering that so many kids and families endured as a result of the pandemic. Through our No Kid Hungry campaign, we are working to end child hunger by helping launch and improve programs that give all kids a healthy start in life so that they can thrive. We look forward to being part of this summit. We know that so many of you are going to enjoy it as well and learn so much from the terrific lineup that they have for this year's summit. Again, thank you for joining us today and welcome.
Thank you, Monica. We appreciate Share Our Strength sponsorship today and the partnership that you provide every day. Now, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Alma Adams, Congressional Representative for the 12th District of North Carolina. Congresswoman Adams is a fierce advocate for families, children, and eliminating racial disparities in all walks of life. She's a steadfast champion for our issues in Congress, and I am pleased to welcome her today. Congresswoman.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric, for your kind introduction, and thank you for all the hard work that you do. Why should there be hunger and deprivation in any land, in any city, at any table, when man has the resources and the scientific know-how to provide all mankind with the basic necessities of life? There's no deficit in human resources. The deficit is in human will. Ladies and gentlemen, that question and those words spoken by the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. still ring clear today. I am Congresswoman Alma Adams, and I'm honored to join you today. I represent North Carolina's 12th Congressional District in Congress, which includes most of Charlotte and Mecklenburg County. I proudly serve as the Vice Chair of the House Agriculture Committee, where we're working on issues ranging from the agricultural industry, forestry, nutrition, food security, and rural development. And so I'd like to thank the Alliance to End Hunger for hosting today's summit and for all of the work that the coalition does. And thank you all to the stakeholders who joined us to discuss very important issues this afternoon. Since joining Congress in 2014, food security and ending hunger continues to be one of my top priorities. In 2015, I founded the Adams Hunger Initiative because I will not be one of those leaders who stands by and lets their constituents go hungry without lifting a finger. Currently, over 42 million Americans are food insecure, including 177,000 of my constituents in the wealthiest nation in the world. There's no reason for a child or their family to ever go hungry. It's clear that there is a hunger crisis in our nation. And while SNAP is a critical lifeline to families, the previous benefit level was simply inadequate, which is why since 2016, I've championed the Closing the Meal Gap, which strengthens SNAP's adequacy by increasing benefits by about 30% and eliminates unrealistic barriers for millions of people affected by food insecurity. And I'm happy to announce that much of that work has been realized this year. The USDA's reevaluation of the Thrifty Food Plan, which increased SNAP benefits by an average of 27% pre-pandemic levels and will allow families to better afford a balanced, more nutritious diet. According to the Urban Institute, with the Thrifty reevaluation, SNAP now covers the average cost of a meal in 79% of U.S. counties. Prior to the reevaluation, SNAP covered the average cost of a meal in only 4% of U.S. counties. Wow. Despite this progress, food insecurity still remains 30% above pre-pandemic levels, particularly among households with children. Eradicating hunger must be one of our top priorities. And so if we are truly dedicated to eradicating hunger, then we must not forget the disparities and the inequities that our communities of color face. There are over 340 food deserts in North Carolina. In my district, about 15% of the residents live in a food desert, and that's higher than the national average. The lack of fresh food availability has debilitating public health consequences. Food deserts contribute to obesity and other food-related chronic diseases, such as diabetes and heart disease. So with steep barriers to healthy, nutritious foods, it can be difficult for residents of food deserts to make health-conscious food decisions. So to make matters worse, nationally, the rate of food insecurity for Black households is more than double that of white households. In order to rectify the injustices of our food system, we must work together to build an equitable and just food system. And that's why your work is so very important. We can't solve every problem at the federal level, especially when you're on the front lines of the fight against hunger. But together we will increase awareness and action around food insecurity and the structural inequities communities of color continue to face for a future free from hunger. So thank you all for your hard work, and thank you indeed for your advocacy. God bless.
Thank you, Congresswoman, and thank you for your dedicated leadership and everything you've done to champion an end to hunger. It's truly been an honor to have you with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Minerva.
So when I first learned that Stacy Dean was going to be the next Deputy Undersecretary for Food and Nutrition at USDA, I can't tell you how happy I was. Stacy has been a friend to our community. We all know her work from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, and she's been a longtime advocate for improving nutrition and food access. Today, she shares what USDA can and should do to address food security, improve nutrition, and ensure that equity is at the center of all of USDA programs and policies. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing from Stacy, and I know you are too. Here we go.
Welcome to the Hunger Free Community Summit. I'm so pleased to be with you here today. I'm Stacy Dean, Deputy Undersecretary for USDA's Food, Nutrition, and Consumer Services. Even though my job has changed, like you, I'm an advocate for the millions of people in this country who are struggling and often can't afford a basic healthy diet. I deeply appreciate your work and your devotion to the health and well-being of our nation's families. Whether you work to serve individuals directly or are in service to them by advocating on their behalf, I appreciate all that you bring to your work each day. So first and foremost, let me thank you. And a special thanks to everyone in the Alliance to End Hunger and the Hunger Free Communities Networks for your swift actions to address the hunger crisis brought on by the pandemic. Today, I want to take a few minutes to outline how the Biden-Harris administration's agenda dovetails and supports your missions. Together, and only together, will we be able to build back better, creating a more equitable, resilient food system that addresses the root causes of food and nutrition insecurity. During these complex times, we understand the deep and urgent need to focus on hunger in our communities. The most recent data show that 1 in 11 American adults reports not having enough food to eat. You all have been doing this vital work to tackle this problem through community-based efforts that make tangible differences in the lives of your neighbors and move the needle on food insecurity. The President and the administration have had a serious focus on the hardship that so many Americans are facing. As we work to build back from COVID, we've set our sights on a future that's better than where we were before. We're focused on ensuring that Americans have consistent access to the safe, nutritious, affordable food essential to health. And to do that, we must tackle not only food insecurity, but nutrition insecurity. USDA's core nutrition programs are the most far-reaching, powerful tools available to ensure that all Americans, regardless of race, ethnicity, or background, have access to healthy, affordable food. As a part of the President's agenda, we will invest in bold solutions that improve our nutrition programs to work closer toward ending food and nutrition insecurity in America. Meanwhile, USDA has been working to expand and adapt our programs to meet evolving needs and overcome the complex challenges that our country has never before faced. Yet we all know that it's not enough to make sure there's enough food for everyone. We must also make sure and ensure that everyone has access to healthy food that supports their nutritional needs and helps prevent or even treat diet-related illnesses. One of the most recent ways USDA is promoting nutrition security is our reevaluation of the Thrifty Food Plan, which serves as the foundation of SNAP benefit calculations. We work to ensure it reflects the current price of a practical, cost-effective, nutritious diet. The adjusted benefit amounts took effect on October 1st. We're a critical first step in ensuring that families participating in SNAP can afford healthy meals for themselves and their loved ones. We're also working to build on one of the most successful nutrition interventions for mothers and their young children by modernizing and expanding the reach of WIC. Since only a little over half of those eligible to receive WIC benefits are currently participating, we're dedicated to identifying better ways to engage and serve eligible families, because early intervention is vital to improving children's health outcomes and helping them realize their full potential. This work is driven by a clear need. Today, for example, 1/5 of American children are obese, and research shows this increases their likelihood of obesity in adulthood, which can have significant health impacts and can put a financial strain on families and our healthcare system. We'll also continue to advance our nutrition security agenda through the school meals program. Studies have confirmed that school meals are the healthiest meals children eat during the day. With this as our benchmark, USDA is committed to science-based nutrition standards for school meals and to working with the schools that deliver those meals to ensure that they can serve food that is both healthy and that kids will enjoy eating. This work is very important, but we're mindful that some schools are experiencing trouble purchasing and obtaining food for school meals due to the disrupted supply chains stemming from and exacerbated by the pandemic. We've got to balance our efforts to strengthen nutrition standards within that current context. And we're focused on responding to the current context. As a part of broader coordinated efforts across the federal government, USDA will provide up to $1.5 billion in funding to help address supply chain issues in the school meal programs and make sure all children have reliable access to healthy meals. These are just some of the efforts USDA's Food and Nutrition Service is taking to strengthen our programs and remove any barriers to ensure all families have access to a reliable food safety net that promotes both food and nutrition security. A key aspect of how we will seek to address food and nutrition security will be through an equity lens and must be through an equity lens. Unfortunately, food and nutrition insecurity and the health problems that develop as a result disproportionately affect communities of color, households with children, and other vulnerable populations. I said earlier that 1 in 11 adults currently reports not having enough food. However, the situation is more nuanced than that. Today, 1 in 6 Black and 1 in 6.5 Latino adults live in a household without enough food. When compared to the 1 in 16 white non-Hispanic adults struggling with food insecurity, the glaring inequity of our food system becomes crystal clear. Black, Latino, and Native American families, as well as people living in rural and low-income counties, also suffer the greatest disparities with regard to nutritional quality and corresponding diet-related diseases. Combating food and nutrition insecurity requires acknowledging and committing to breaking down the cycle of racial and other inequities at play. We know we have a long way to go on that front, but at FNS, in USDA, and across the whole administration, we are committed to taking the steps necessary to get us there. But we can't achieve this without your experience and your support. You know your states, your neighbors, your schools, and your communities best. Progress will require both sweeping systemic changes and local level grassroots actions. Further, those systemic changes will only be effective if informed by those who are out there confronting these issues day in and day out from the ground level. For us at FNS, this means that in order to be a constructive voice in the larger racial justice conversation, in order to make meaningful policy and take meaningful action, we have to start with listening. We need to spend more time alongside those who have lived experiences, participating in, operating, and engaging with our programs, including all of you and the people you work with on a daily basis. I've challenged the agency to vastly increase stakeholder engagement in all aspects of our work, and I encourage you to let us know how we can support what you're doing on the ground. Your perspectives, experiences, and ideas are incredibly valuable, and I hope you will share those with us, because I truly believe that together we can build back better. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great summit.
Thank you, Stacy, for all that you're doing on the federal level to really create equitable solutions to addressing hunger and food insecurity here in the United States. I am now happy to introduce Meegan Loveless. Meighen is deeply involved in all aspects of the Alliance. We met them through one of our Alliance member organizations, the National Farmers Union. They then joined our Hunger Free Communities Advisory Council and is now a member of the Alliance to End Hunger Board of Directors. Finally, Meighen is a major leader with the Hunger Free efforts going on in Colorado, and I can't think of a better person to give us final welcome remarks.
Thank you, Eric. And thank you to the Alliance to End Hunger, Congresswoman Adams, and Undersecretary Dean for your important remarks. Welcome, hunger-free communities, warriors for a better world where no one goes without a meal. My name's Meegan Loveless, and I've been working boots on the ground as a farmer, mother, and SNAP recipient across all sectors, hoping that one day hunger will be in the past. What we know is our collective voices, risen together, are powerful. What we know is that through this network of support, resources, and influence is how we move forward together to end hunger. Your voices matter. The Alliance hears you, they see you. Let's speak up and speak out together towards a better for everyone. Whether you're working in a small community in rural America or a large urban center, your work matters, and so do you. Let's put our heads together these next 2 days to think way beyond what is today to the bright future of tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Be brave and speak out. We're listening. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you so much, Meighen, and to all of our speakers for kicking off the summit. My name is Tanya Mickelson, and I'm with our production team for this virtual summit. Before we close the session, I want to give you a quick overview on how to use Excel Events, our conference platform, to make the most of your experience. First, we recommend that you use the Chrome browser for the best connection. Next, I'd like to show you around. On the navigation bar to the left of your screen, use the lobby to chat with fellow attendees and see the full agenda. Access session details, speakers, and sessions by going to the main stage, workshops, and networking tabs. Connect directly with each other via chat or direct message by clicking on the People tab. Sessions for this summit are each set a little differently based on the outcomes for that specific session. Main stage sessions like this one are webinars where we have a slate of speakers who will be sharing their expertise. Workshop sessions will dive deeper into solution-driven topics. As you enter these sessions, you will have the opportunity to turn on your audio and video, and we ask that you follow the workshop presenter's lead on when to do so. Make sure to utilize the chat and Q&A features to the right of your screen during each session. Networking sessions are opportunities to connect with your fellow attendees at this year's summit, so we hope to see you there. And finally, if you have any needs or questions, text or call our tech support team at 503-564-3044. You can also direct message tech support through the People tab in the navigation bar to the left. Up next on this main stage is the panel discussion, Tackling the Racial Hunger Gap and Advancing Equity, starting at 12:30 Eastern Time. You don't want to miss it. In a moment, a window will pop up that will allow you to easily join the next session. Make sure to click that join button. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.